Hello and welcome everyone to the next episode on SAP Analytics Cloud Training with me, Anubhav. In the last couple of episodes, we talked about the basic concept of SAP Analytics Cloud. We talked about the strategies and the infrastructure, the architecture, the core components of SAP Analytics Cloud, comparison of SAC with its competitors. We talked about different solutions which exist in the market and also the SAP Analytics Cloud strategy and history. We also discussed the basic terminologies about HANA, S4HANA, SAP Cloud Platform, data center, tenant, and all these things which you need to know as to get started with SAC. In today's episode, we'll start with real action with SAP Analytics Cloud BI feature as the first pillar of SAC. Now, before I start, just a quick update in terms of certification. The new certification code for SAC is now available and it is now named as 2008 instead of 2002. So you can go to SAP Certification Hub and check the details about the same. It is available with the number called 2008, not 2002. And this course will be suffice enough to be able to crack SAP Analytics Cloud certification without any problem. All right. So that's a quick update. So you see the name of this screenshot is incorrect. It was 2002 earlier and now it is 2008. Okay. Certification code is C underscore SAC underscore 2008. This is the latest certification code which is now available for SAP Analytics Cloud. Okay. Now, hi sir, Rohit. Today is my first session. No problem, Rohit. It's your first session. It's fine. You can go back and check the recording of the videos of last two classes. That's absolutely okay. Not a problem. Okay. You didn't miss much. Okay. So let's start with SAP Analytics Cloud BI feature. What is BI first of all? So as you all know my style of teaching, we always start asking the right questions from the scratch, from the basic, and then we move to the advanced stuff. So what is BI? BI stands for business intelligence. That's what BI is all about. Yeah. So what exactly BI can do? What is the benefit of using BI? So what is the definition, industry definition of BI? BI comprises the strategies and technologies used by enterprises for data analysis on historic data and of course present data. So based on present and historic data, you do data analysis. For what purpose you do this? For finding pattern and taking future decision. This is the purpose of BI. The main purpose is not for fun. It's mainly to find the patterns in the data. Suppose if I have billion records of my sales last 20 year, I can easily go drill down to this data and find some hidden patterns like during Christmas days, how's the sale of my iPhone? Is it increasing or decreasing? During Thanksgiving date, which is the product which is sold the most? Is it the laptops, iPads, or something else? What is the consumer behavior? What is the price band for a particular electronic product which customers are buying the most? Yeah. Which are all the countries I am making the most of my business? All these patterns are hidden on your data. Now they will help you to take informed decisions. So BI was till today mainly analyzing data of historic and present and taking out some patterns to take future decisions. So this is what till today's the story was for BI. But what is the new emerging trend? The new emerging trend says not just to take the informed decisions, but also to take the correct decision or the smart decision. So BI is now integrating or leveraging machine learning, which is a field of AI, to also take confident decision. So till today it was just taking decision, taking future decision or informed decision, but now you can take decision more confidently. You have confidence, and this confidence directly relates to the machine learning algorithm confidence. We have actually these scenarios also covered in our current course, SAP Analytics Cloud. As I showed you in the architecture diagram, it not just include BI, but it also includes predictive feature. You see here predictive, yeah, it also includes predictive BI plus predictive both. So please understand that SAP Analytics Cloud is not just to help you the take you the decision for using BI, but also take you confident decision. That's a unique proposition which SAC offers you as compared to its competitors. And why would not companies will take this now, right? Now, what is the general process in the BI? When you say I'm using BI or I'm doing BI in my company, what is the process of applying BI? Everything is a process, right? In whenever you work in a company, there has to be a process which you got to follow. You can't simply just go and do things, right? You follow process. What's the process of BI? Just like any ERP implementation follows a process, BI also has a process. Let me just add a smart art over here to explain you that process. So what's the process of BI? Let's add that. Now, the BI process is very simple. Even you never did any coding in your life, you can use BI. And that's why this course is for people who don't want to do coding, who are new to SAP world or who have no clue about SAP and they wanted to step towards SAP. Even you have an idea on SAP, that's an added advantage, of course. You have idea about Power BI, or you have idea about, let's say, some other BI products, or you have idea about BW, SAP, Bob J. This course is for you. This will help you to understand more deeper the insights of new product called SAC. So first step is requirement gathering. See guys, whenever you start something, you need to know where you want to go, right? You cannot just drive in your car to just go anywhere. You have a dedicated goal. What's your requirement? What's your need? So you always start with that. So BI also starts with requirement gathering. What is the user need is all about. And we're going to spend a considerable amount of chunk in today's session on the same. The second step comes is you need to access data. Now, access data is a very important step. You need to know where is your raw material. To make a finished product, you need to know where the raw material is going to come from. So raw material for BI is data, your historic data as well as your present data. Now, typically this data is present in a ERP system, or this data is present somewhere in a BW system, right? Or it could be in a form of Excel sheet. So you have to have access to the data. Once the data has come up, you need to do modeling. Why modeling? Your data is not in the expected format. I'll take an example. You have sales data, but it is in different currencies. Now you cannot simply add US dollar with Indian rupees. You have to synthesize the data. You have to apply cleansing on the data. You have to apply sometime formulas. You have to drive relationships in form of hierarchies. So all that process comes under modeling. Modeling is a very big area which includes data wrangling, data blending, data cleansing, data transformation, data synthesis, the hierarchies. All this comes under modeling. It's a vast area. We're going to learn a lot about modeling in our course. Then next step comes is visualize, sorry, prepare. Yeah, prepare includes modeling actually. So I would call the prepare phase as here modeling. Yeah, preparation or modeling. The next phase comes is visualize. Now you got the data. How do you want your user to visualize this data? How do you want your user to see this data in form of chart or in form of, you know, creating a geo map or a table? So that is called building story. This process is called building story. So story building is a process where you visualize the data. How will user perceive it? How will your user end user will see it? That's your visualization of the data. So I'm sorry. Yeah, building stories. And last step is comes is sharing or collaboration. So once you're ready with your story, you need to project your story to explain it to your end user. Now your end user could be CEO of a company, a department head, could be anybody. So these are all the steps in the whole process of BI. Are these steps clear, guys, in a nutshell? Before I get into system and start doing things in the system. Okay, right? Clear, everyone? Are you clear with these steps? Easy? No technical knowledge required to learn all this. You will be able to do in a more graphical way without any knowledge. So please participate in the class. You more you participate, more you get from me, because I get energy when you guys participate in the class. Okay, so now that are all the steps when it comes to BI. So as you all know, now new emerging trend is also saying that you have not just this, you also have predict. So you also doing predict these days. This is a new emerging trend. Instead of just doing visualize, you also now can do predict with machine learning capabilities. Now the good news for those who don't know machine learning, I'm going to cover machine learning basics in this course. Together with that, you don't need to have any knowledge on algorithms of machine learning. You will be taught everything in this course. Without having a knowledge and coding and machine learning algorithm, you can apply machine learning using SAP Analytics Cloud. It's a very big chunk in our course. In fact, 20 to 30% of our course covers machine learning features. All right. So now when it comes to predict specifically, okay, let's look at each of these phases step by step, and we will be trying to understand what is that we're going to do in SAP Analytics Cloud step by step. So we're going to follow through all these processes during our course. Now before I get into it, let's first understand the data, how the data will behave. What is our data? Understand the data types. What are all the data types? What do we mean by data? Whenever we look at any company data, any industry data, how will we assume the data? So when it comes to data, let's see. Here is our data. Let me take an example, very simple example of a data set. It is my sales data in my company, for example. Okay, so I'm going to create again table. So this is my sales data in the company, typical sales data. And I have here sales order ID. I have company, and I have amount. I have currency, or I have country code. Yeah, I have this much of data with me for now. Just take a sampling of simple small data set. So I have sales data. So sales order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have company, let's say X, Y, Z, X, Z, Y. So this is my company data, company codes. And then I have some amount, 520 US dollars, 950 euro, 500 euro, 9,000 INR, 15,000 1500 Japan yen, and let's say 750 100 7500 US dollars. This is my sales data. Now when you have this data, what questions can you ask to the data? You can ask only one question: what is my total sales? That's all you can ask. What is my total sales? This is the thing you can totally ask. Correct? Nothing more than that. This is all you can ask. What is my total sales? This data doesn't give you anything more than that. Anything more than that. So right now, this is my data set. I'm just gonna reduce the size here. Yeah. And you can ask only one question: what is my total sales? This data is good. It can help you to calculate the total sales till today. And this process of calculating total sales is called aggregation. What is it called? Aggregation. What is it called? Aggregation. Aggregation means you're combining it together. Okay. Aggregation. So aggregation is a process of grouping the data together and taking some outcome. Now, in this case, I will aggregate the total sales and I will tell you, hey, how much is the sales? Yeah, per currency, of course. And then, of course, you will group by currency because you can't simply aggregate 520 US dollar with 950 euros. That's not valid. So you're going to aggregate by currency. So that's all you can do right now on this data set. So that's all this data set will give you. But now imagine another data set in your company. Now this data set contains company code and company name, and it says X, Y, Z. Yeah, says X, Y, Z. And now here in the X it says IBM, and here it says, let's say, SAP, and here it says, let's say, Facebook. So now you've got some more data. Okay, now you got some more data. Now this data is what you keep it here. Let's understand these two data sets. The first data set, if you see, this data set is telling you some facts about your business. My total sales is a fact in the business. So this data is actually called as transaction data. What is a transaction data? Transaction data will tell you about facts on the business. Usually it contains some numeric value. Usually it contains some numeric value which tells you facts of the business. That's what the transaction data contains. It contains numeric value which is actually the facts about the business. That's called transaction data. Now this transaction data which you see here is also, or this amount field specifically, is the numeric value. Now this amount field is also known as measure or KPI. Measure means it's measuring what? It's measuring performance, performance of your sales department, correct? So usually a numeric value is actually considered as a measure or key performance indicator, KPI, key performance indicator. It is part of a transaction data table, also known as fact table. Okay. Now take an example of HR. Can anybody give me example of KPI of HR? What will be the KPI field for HR? If you're working on HR, what is the KPI? Number of hirings. Very good example. Wow. Sebastian, very good. But please put your answers in publicly so everyone can see. Head count. Very good. Head count is another example of KPI. What else? What else could be KPI for HR department? Number of trainings they conducted. Yeah. Number of trainings they conducted. Bench strength. Very good. All these are examples of KPIs for HR. Correct? They are always numeric. Now let's take another example. Can anybody give me a KPI of a developer? What is the KPI of a developer? If you are a developer in a company, what's your KPI? Number of bugs you fixed. Very good, Sebastian. Again, number of bugs you fixed, number of skills you possess, right? Number of apps you developed. Very good. Number of tickets you solved. Awesome. All these are KPIs of a developer, right? Number of leaves you have taken. Very good. Number of leaves you have taken. All these counts your KPI. They are always numbers. Clear, everybody? Numbers, numeric values where they are stored in table is called transaction or fact table. It's also known as measure or KPI. Everyone, are you clear? Is this part clear? What is transaction data? What is measure? What is KPI? Yeah? Yes? Now, one more thing I want to tell. One question to all of you. Are all numbers KPIs? Are all numbers count as measures? Will you count all the numeric value by default as measure? No. No, not necessarily. Take an example of star rating, correct? Star rating. Is star rating 1 2 3 4 5? On a count of 1 to 5 I give star rating. Is that a measure? Probably not. Yeah, it's just a number. Height of a person, height of a person is also a number. But will you consider that as a KPI? Is it, can you measure somebody's performance on the basis of height in a company? Cannot, right? Employee ID. Employee ID is also numeric. It's a number. Roll number of a student, it's also a number. 570352, it's a roll number. Can you measure performance of a student based on its roll number? You cannot. So not always all numbers are KPIs or measures. It's an interview question. It's an interview question in SSC interview. Is all numeric values considered as KPIs or measures? Answer is no. Examples: roll number, employee ID, star rating of a product, sentiments, yeah, confidence, yeah, or height of a person. These are all different KPIs or measures. So are you clear, guys? What is transaction data? What it contains? What is measure, KPI, numeric value? All three are same. Okay. Everyone, is this part clear? Till here, are you okay? Before I proceed further. Okay. Next, look at this data. This data, do you think a company code changes very frequently? Do you think a company code changes in the system so frequently? Is it changeable so frequently? Is it changed so frequently? No, it doesn't change so frequent, right? Right? If you have a bank account in your bank, does your account number changes frequently? No, it doesn't, right? So this data, the data which does not change so frequently is called what? Master data. What is it called? Master data. What is master data? The data which does not change frequently is called master data, right? Clear, everybody? What is master data? Data which can change, it can change, but it does not change so frequently. What is the use of master data? The use of master data to create transactions, right? So you see, somebody created using this master data some sales orders, right? Data is created using the master data. So when you create a sale, you use customer's company code to make a sale to the customer. Yeah. So that's a master data used here. Similarly, let's say product. What are all the other examples of master data? Can anybody give me? In case of sales department, what are all the examples of master data other than company code or customer? Other than customer, what is sales organization? No, sales organization is organization data. Product, yes, product is another example. Good. What else? What else? What else is another example of master data? Product is another example. Material, very good. Material is product is same. Yeah. So customer, employee, very good example. Employees master data. Employee ID doesn't change so frequently, right? So all these are master data examples. So master data is the data which doesn't change frequently. It is used to create transaction data. So you're creating transaction using master data. Now watch out the magic. What happens when you combine this company code, this master data with this transaction data? When you combine these two together, magic happens. Magic happens. So till today, you were just getting some codes, some random IDs. This random ID was having no meaning to the business. If you project it as no meaning. But the moment I combine my master data with the transaction data, I get completely a new dimension. I get completely a new dimension on my data. Now I can clearly tell which is my top customer, how much sale IBM have given me. I can clearly tell that. How much sales SAP customer has given me. I can clearly tell. How much sale Facebook has given me. I can clearly tell. So I can always go and clearly know how much a sale each company has given me actually, which is my top trending customer, which customer is most priority for me, who has given me the maximum business. Till today, I was not able to do with the just looking at transaction data, but now when I combine master and transaction data together, I get all together a new dimension. That's why the master data is also known as dimension data, because it gives you new dimension. Everyone, are you clear? It gives you new dimension. That's why master data is also considered as dimension. Is this clear? Hello, everyone. Are you clear the difference between dimension and measure? This is a very important topic. If we don't understand this, trust me, BI is difficult. Yeah, but it's simple to understand. Now, can anybody give me more example of dimensions? More example of dimensions? More example of dimensions? Employee data. Which employee? You go to supermart, you see there are different employees selling different stuff to you, right? How do you measure some employees performance? Based on their sales figures, correct? How much material, how much product they sold to your customers. So employees. So employee ID, employee name. So suppose employee ID is 10001, Anubhav, 10002, Jack, 1003, Ananya. So you have now three employees with their IDs. Of course, your sales will contain the employee ID column. I'm not showing it here, but your sales data will also contain employee ID. Which employee made these sales for my company, correct? Who's that employee who's making these sales? So let me add that. You can add that easily. No problem. I can just squeeze the table a little and I add a column called employee. Which employee is making this sale? So I can clearly see here in this data on this employee over here that my employee, which is 1002, Jack, has not made any sales till today. And my employee 1003 is making maximum sales. See, maximum numbers are coming from 1003. So who is the top performer of the company? Who's the top performer? Anyone? Who is the top performer in my company right now? 1003. Can you make out that from this transaction data alone? Can you make out the name of the employee with this transaction data alone? No, you have to combine the master data. So employees another dimension. Are you getting it, guys? Clear, everyone? Employee data. This is also example of master data. Clear? Okay. What else could be a dimension? Another dimension could be products. Yes. Which product give me the maximum revenue in my company? Which is the product selling the most? Yeah. Product ID. Let's say P1, P1, P2, P3, P4, P4. I have products. Can you make out with this P1, P2, P3, P4 what is it? Can you make out by looking at P1 to P4 what is it? No, you cannot. What you need to do? Anyone? You need to combine it with the master data. I guess now you guys are very much clear about what is dimension. How many dimension I have as of now in this diagram? How many dimensions I've got? Three dimensions. Very good. Three dimension. My company data, say my customer data basically, my employee data and my product data. So you have iPhone, iPad, you have then let's say a laptop, and then maybe you have pen drive. Yeah. So this is your data of, this is how you understand the data. Before actually going to the BI, understanding the data is very important. Recognizing what is master, what is transaction, what is a measure, What sometimes they all come together. It is not necessary that they always split in multiple table. Sometimes all this data come together in one single table. Okay. For example, if I replace this P1, P2, P3, P4 directly with these names, my dimension is part of same table. Guys, are you clear? It is not mandatory that they come separately in separate database table, but they can come together in one single table also. Yeah. Now, what else could be another dimension? Can you guess? Last, give me one more last dimension quickly. What else could be another dimension, my friends? Country, very good example. Currency code. Yeah. Currency code can be another dimension. Country can be. What else? Come on, use your engineer's mind and tell me some more example. Let's see if you can grab the one which I'm thinking, which is very important dimension. What another one? Let me tell you, it's time. Time is also a dimension, right? Time dimension, right? Usually you can call it as date. Yes, why not? Date time or date. Yeah. How do you break the time? Can anybody quickly tell me how do we break time in business? How, whenever you see a company reporting to stock market their revenues, their numbers for share market, how do they break the time? Yes, they break the time in form of yearly. This is the topmost node. Under that, you have quarter, or you can have half. Some companies report their half yearly numbers, right? Then you have quarter, then you have months, and then you have days. Clear everyone how time dimension can be broken into pieces together? Yeah. Can you see? Yeah. Now, don't you see this is a also hierarchy? One year contain how many halves? One year will contain how many halves? Two halves. How many quarters it contains? Four quarters. How many months? 12 months. How many days? 365 days. Correct? So this is actually a hierarchy of time. Time is naturally a hierarchy. Are you guys clear? Understanding that time is also a dimension which you can consider when you're looking at, suppose, what is my last quarter sales? It's a dimension. What is my yearly half year sales, right? What is my this month sales, June month sales? When the pandemic was running, what was the sales of June month? So all this is a different dimensions. Are you guys clear? Difference between dimensions and measures, transactions and master data. Now, one last important statement here. What is an account dimension? Sometimes we call account dimension. What is an account dimension? Now, for the saying it, we are calling it as a dimension, but look at the name. It's account. It's accounting. It's account. So an account dimension is nothing but all your measures combiningly called account dimension. Will you remember this concept? All your measures, if I combine all your measures together, that itself becomes a account dimension. Will you remember this? These are all the basic fundamentals of BI. Everyone, wherever you go, no matter what tool do you use in your life for BI, whether it is Power BI, Tableau, SAP Analytics Cloud, these rules of the game remains unchanged. These rules will remain unchanged. They will always be there. Okay. So it's basically used to group all the KPIs. It's a grouping of all KPIs. It helps you to group the KPIs. That's the only purpose. Okay. Account dimension is combination of all your measures. This is a measure amount. So you have gross amount, you have net amount, you have tax amount, all your measures. You have revenue, you have your expenses, all these combiningly called as account dimension. Okay, it's mainly used to group the KPIs, and also in financials. If you see a balance sheet of a company, financials, it gives sign. Sign means whether it is a positive dimension or is it a negative dimension. So a positive account dimension in financials is added to the balance sheet. But on the negative side, a negative dimension in the financial is on the debit side. So one is credit, one is debit. In financial world, we will say account dimension. This account dimension is positive, which means it is contributing to your business, like revenue, like sales, right? That's a positive account dimension. A negative account dimension will disproportionate, or it is contributing negatively to your business, like expense, travel expense, HR expense, training expense, all your expenses, ad hoc expenses, daily expenses, the electricity bill. So when you make also your household budget, you have two types of account dimension: positive account dimension and negative account dimension. So for you as an individual, can anybody tell me, you as an individual, what is positive account dimension for you in your household budget? What contributes positively? Salary. What else? Somebody work on share market, so you make money from share market. That's a positive dimension. What else is positive dimension for you in your balance? Rental income, very good. Rental income, if you are having a property, you're getting rent for that. Interest income, if you given some money to somebody, lended some money, then you have long term capital gain. Somebody buying gold, holding it for some time and then selling the gold, making some profit. Lottery, you go to casino, you play a lottery there, you won the lottery. These are all the positive account dimension. What is the negative account dimension in your household budget? Rent you are paying, telephone bills, internet bills, transport expenses, car EMI. These are negative account dimension. Clear everyone? We will be using account dimension heavily in financial planning. I will cover planning also in this course. So there we will be using heavily account dimension. Now, account dimension also has version. In financial planning, have version. Version is also known as category. Typically the versions are actual, forecast, budget. Okay, these are all the three versions, but I'm not going to discuss them today. I'm going to discuss them in the chapter when we will start planning using SAP Analytics Cloud. Right now I leave you here with the low dose of antibiotic. I will give you right and heavy dose of antibiotic when we reach to planning chapter. I'm your doctor, you are my patient. First day I cannot give you heavy dose. It will not work on your, it will not work on your disease, rather it will create side effect on your body. So it's important that we go phase by phase, but important is to understand the terminology. Everyone clear account dimension? What is account dimension? What is the significance of it? Okay, let's move on now. So after account dimension, let's talk about what is hierarchy. So hierarchy is nothing but it's a tree relationship between data. Why we use hierarchy? It helps to aggregate data and visualize correct in more of business terms. Okay, more of business terms, it will help you to analyze data more of business terms. So can anybody give me one example of hierarchy which I already taught you today? What is a hierarchy example? I showed you one hierarchy. Time, yes, time was one hierarchy, like yearly, half yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily, right? That's a hierarchy of time. What else could be another hierarchy? Example, cost center. hierarchy. Region, country, city hierarchy, right? These are all different hierarchy examples. Okay, let's take an example of region, city, country. That will be easy to understand. So how many regions usually our world has? How many regions our world has? Four regions. Do you all know regions? All four regions? Do you know all four regions name? Come on, quickly tell me what are all the regions? EMEA, Europe and Middle East. Very good. What else? North America. Very good. So all your Europe and other countries are coming in EMEA. North America, South America, yeah, Southern America, APJ, Asia Pacific, Japan. Asia Pacific includes China, Singapore, Thailand, India, yeah, Myanmar, Indonesia, Australia, New Zealand. All this is Asia Pacific, Japan pack. South America, North America, EMEA. Okay. Now in Asia Pacific, Japan, further you have countries. Can anybody name some countries in APJ? India, right? India is part of that. Singapore, China, all these are different countries in APJ pack. So that's a hierarchy. If you see, APJ further has child nodes. You see, it is a tree-like structure. It's a tree-like structure. Okay, I'm gonna put EMEA and these things aside. So let me give a different color coding so you can understand what is the topmost node of hierarchy. Then a different color coding for countries. And then further, if you see, in India, as a child of India, you have then different other countries like, for example, below India, if you see, we have within India, you have different states like Rajasthan, like Maharashtra, like Karnataka, correct? Chennai, right? You have different, sorry, Tamil Nadu, different states you have. Now within a state, what you have? So that's another level of hierarchy. Level 3 we are. Now within Rajasthan, can you name some cities of Rajasthan quickly? Anyone? Have you been to ever Rajasthan? What are all the cities you have? Jaipur is one example, good example. Jaipur, Kota, yes, Kota, Jaipur, Udaipur, yeah, all these are cities. This is next level of hierarchy. So if I'm analyzing sales numbers, I can drill down using this hierarchy easily. I can drill down. Drill down means I can check numbers at each city level, then at each state level, each country level, each region level. I can see which region is contributing the most, which city is contributing. So you can always drill down to hierarchy. So this, when you go down in the hierarchy, APJ to India, India to Rajasthan, Rajasthan to city, this is called drill down. Okay. This is called drill down. You're drilling down to the hierarchy, down in the hierarchy. When you go up, it's called drill up. Okay. So you can always drill down. So if you see what is the sales quota is giving you. So let's say quota is giving you a sales of 200 and Jaipur is giving it sales of 400. What is the sales at a state level? Anyone? If Kota is contributing 200 sales, Jaipur is contributing 400 sales, what is the sales at Rajasthan? 600. Very good example. Very good, guys. You understood. So now I see 600 is the Rajasthan contribution. Similarly, you will have contribution from Maharashtra. Maharashtra is giving, let's say, 1200 sales. So what is the contribution at India level sales now? Can anybody tell me? How much is India contributing to my sales? 1800. It's a sum of child nodes actually. Are you getting it, guys? The power and the purpose of hierarchy, 1800. So similarly, Singapore is contributing, let's say sales of, Singapore is contributing a sales of uh, 2000. What is the Asia Pacific sales? 3800. So this is very helpful for my business. I can visualize data better. I know what is my top performing country. So if I have to plan expansion plan, I would invest more in Singapore because this is giving me more business. Yeah. Where can I take down money and put in another country? So you can see I have opportunity here in India because right now revenue is not good. I have an opportunity. Then within India, I can drill down and see Which state is giving me more opportunity? Rajasthan. Right now sales is only 600. Within Rajasthan, which city is giving me more opportunity where I have more expansions to be done? So this way I can analyze data better. Everyone clear hierarchy? What is hierarchy? It's a tree data structure of your data to aggregate data at a node level. These are called nodes of hierarchy. So SAP Analytics Cloud supports two type of hierarchy. First is called level based hierarchy, in which all the data will be represented as on a single level for display purpose. In a single level you will see all the data in a single level, straight in a single line. Okay, and then you can drill down actually, but you can't see a tree. But the second hierarchy, which is called parent child hierarchy, you can see a tree structure, you can visualize tree. So in the first one, you can drill down, you can drill up. In both, you can drill down, drill up. But second one is called parent-child hierarchy, which where you can visualize a tree actually. In the first one, you can't visualize the tree. In second one, you can visualize the tree. We will see both of them in our course also, how to create both level-based and parent-child hierarchy in the course. Okay. Usually, at a starting point, the level-based hierarchy can be created on multiple dimensions, but parent-child hierarchy is created between two dimensions, but it's not mandatory. You can actually add more dimensions to it. Okay, clear everyone? What is account dimension? It's a group of all your measures. What is hierarchy? It's a tree data structure. Now, these concepts are concepts of BI. They are used no matter where you go. Even tomorrow you learn another BI tool in your life, you will be using it. Now, there's also one more. Okay, before I go to the use case, let's also quickly discuss about one more way of data type, which is also gonna come. So later on, I'm gonna show prediction. Prediction concept in SAP Analytics Cloud includes another type of concept. So in the prediction concept of SAP Analytics Cloud, we use different types of data types. What are all the different types of data types we use in prediction type of constants? So in predictions, we use another type of data type, which is what we call it as, there are two broad categories of data types. Let me tell you. So during prediction, it's the same concept. See, data will be always this only, but there are different names of the data. So you should not get confused when I am teaching you machine learning later on. You should not get confused about what is this. So data types in machine learning or prediction, at the time of prediction in BI, we have different naming convention for data. So there are two broad data types. First is called categorical and second is called continuous. Categorical and continuous. What is it? Categorical and continuous data type. In categorical, you have further two categories. One is called nominal, another is called ordinal. This is very important to understand data. Sometimes somebody, when they're giving you assignment or work in your company, they will use this naming convention to represent data. They will not use measure dimension, but they will use this naming convention. It's just a different naming convention to further categorize your data. In continuous data, we have two types. One is called interval and another is called ratio. Now guys, let me exactly tell you what. Now let me ask you this question. There is no negative marking, nobody is going to laugh on you. What do you think? What is our measure between these two? What is your gut feel? Which is measure, which is numeric between these two? Which is your measure? What is numeric? Continuous. Very good answer. Continuous data is actually a measure. It's a different naming convention. And what is categorical? It is your dimension. Okay. Now, what is nominal? Within dimension, you have two further categories. So they've broken it down to very granular level here. Actually, this is industry terms which are used in machine learnings because we're going to do machine learning also later on. So in nominal, we have two different type, ordinal and nominal. In nominal, we have discrete values. So nominals are discrete values. Okay. Like discrete values, examples, currencies. Yeah. Employee ID, employee ID and name, of course. All your master data or dimension, which are discrete values, they are considered as nominal data set, like employee, customer. What else could be example? All your dimensions, whatever we saw, time, sorry, not time here. So customer, employee, product, all these are nominal, which are just simple discrete values which you have. Now, ordinal is also discrete values. They are also discrete values, but they have order. That's why called ordinal. They have a order. What comes first? Day come first or week come first? Anyone? What come first? Day come first or week come first? Day, week, month, quarter. How? What is the order? Day. Yes. Week. You can go to more granular level. Hour. You can go to seconds, millisecond. So hour, day, week, month, quarter, correct? There is a order. That's why it's called ordinal. Everyone, are you clear? Ordinal. Yeah. Typically we create hierarchies on ordinal data. We can also create hierarchies on this, like employee hierarchy, employee manager hierarchy. You can also create employee manager hierarchy here. It's not like always you create an ordinal, but ordinal data more appropriate for hierarchy representation. Okay. They have relationship. They have a order, like first you go to school, primary, then you go to school, then you go to higher secondary, higher secondary, college, right? Graduate, postgraduate. There is a order. That's a ordinal data. Clear, everyone? Dimension are further two category which are known as categorical also. So machine learning, we will be using these terminologies. So I'm putting all the basics here today itself, so that later on you should not get confused. Then coming to continuous, there's an interval. What is interval? Interval means there is some difference in the data. So continuous data is a measure, it's a number which keeps coming over a period of time. Continuous data, the beauty is it keeps coming over a time. It changes over the time. It's a transaction data. Things which is changing, which is not fixed, they will be transactional data or measures. They will keep on changing over a time. Interval, there is some difference in the interval. Now remember, you can sum, you can subtract, but you cannot multiply this data or divide this data. Okay. Interval data, something which is having no true zero. This is called interval data. It doesn't have any zeros, no true zero. Like example temperature. So temperature starts with, let's say, -10 degree, -5 degree, 0 degree, 5 degree, 10 degree. Do you think zero is a true zero in temperature? Is it a true zero in temperature? No. 0 degrees itself represent an actual temperature. It is not a true zero. It also represent a value. You can sum and subtract, but you cannot multiply and divide on this data. Okay. This is your continuous data, interval data. There is an interval. You see, there is an exact interval in this data, and it is continuous. It is continuous. I am putting something on water on the gas, and I'm continuously increasing. So it's continuous, and it has an interval. Okay. It was share market, share prices. Share prices has a specific tick size. You cannot trade based on your own value. They have an interval, right? And they are continuous. Over a period of time they changes, and there is no true zero there. Okay. True zero also has a value out there. Okay. You can add, subtract, but you can't multiply and divide. All these are interval data. Don't worry, we will see examples in the system, then you will be more clear. But right now, just understand these terminologies. Now, what is ratio? Ratio itself means it's a basically the data which continuously comes over a time, and this data also changes continuously over the time, but it will not have an absolute zero. Okay, and there is no difference you can calculate. It is a discrete random, it is a values, measure values actually. Okay, you can apply all operations, you can apply everything, sum, mean, max, everything you can apply on this data. There is no absolute zero. Example for this data could be, say, gross amount, sales gross amount, what is my net amount, what is my profit loss. Yeah, profit, loss, gross, net, height of a person, all this is example of ratio. There is a relationship, there is a ratio between them. So gross, you can calculate percentage on that data, right? You can say how much is a percentage of gross margin, profit margin, how much is a percentage. So all this you can do on this data. These are measure values, they are called ratio data. So more or less all your measures are counted under continuous data, all your dimension are in the categorical data. Now I'll start with the our complete process. So we'll start with BI. So you understand the data now. The basics are all clear. So we will start with first requirement collection. How do you do this? How do you then access the data? Where will the data come from? Then you will see about how do we create a model. And today we will build a simple story also in today's class. Let me take a quick break for 5 minutes. And right after 5 minutes, I will meet you again. All right, welcome back after the break. So now we are going to start using BI feature of SAP Analytics Cloud. I would assume now you all have an account on SAP Analytics Cloud trial. You have already registered for it, or if not, that's okay. We are going to start with SAP Analytics Cloud from today. So you can see here, after 10 days passed, it has extended my trial automatically to 70 more days. So which is sufficient enough to complete this entire training. So we're going to have access to this account till the end of this training. You can see 70 days I've got my trial extended. So they will give 90-day trial. My 20 days are already over. So that's okay. We can still use this account for till the end of the training. So I hope all of you would have also registered on SAP Analytics Cloud and you see a home screen, something like this. So now what we start is with the requirement document. So step one is requirement collection. How do you collect the requirement? What's the process? And then also this material which I'm showing you here is available on Google Drive. The link is already shared with all of you. So if you go to our SSC material folder, in this, if you go to session 3, here is where you see our demo data set, which is what we are going to use later on. And you also see the requirement document, which I am showing you here. So this you can download in your computer and you can start also working on this document or read through this after the class is done. By the way, I'm going to open that up now. So let's start. How should you get requirement, or just let's say you don't get requirement, you are the one who is doing everything. Sometime in a company, due to lack of knowledge, the moment you say SAC, they will ask you only to do this work. So basically this is a job of product manager. A product manager is the guy who's supposed to collect the requirement and then accordingly put them and articulate them correctly, and then these requirements is what they will give it to you as a technical or techno functional consultant of SAP Analytics Cloud. You're going to get this as an input. But sometimes I heard that you are the only one who is working on SAC in your company, and every single thing which they want, you only have to do. So what is the right way of articulating requirement? You can follow my template here, and you can also do in your company in the same way, which looks very professional. Okay, so let me come down and you see here user persona. As you can see here, user persona, which talks about an employee or an SAP Analytics Cloud evangelist in the company. Her name is Anne Jackson. She is 30-year-old young IT and product expert. So she's a product expert and IT professional, both. So she's going to play both role in the company with a strong interpersonal skills. Ann Jackson is an SAP Analytics evangelist, which means she is the one which is bearing the torch of SAP Analytics Cloud in the company at a bike manufacturing company. So who's the company she's working for? A bike manufacturing company called Mobility Company. That's why you see the company logo and company name comes on the top in the SRS document. Now she loves adventure and a seasonal skiing player. On the weekend, she involved herself in social activities, helping poor children to learn, which is a good thing she does apart from her work. She has a good work-life balance and appears to be management's favorite choice to bike the topics. So any topic related to interesting topics or important topics for the management, she is a good choice. As you can see, she looks very active and happy person and is known for her clean design, analytical ability display, and commitment to the data community. She is a regular blogger and publishers of large number of snippets on SAP Analytics Cloud community to help also others growing their knowledge on SAP Analytics Cloud. She has total 10 plus years of rich experience on SAP BW, SAP Business Objects, Crystal Report, Bex Queries, and also recently joined machine learning program conducted by anubhavtrainings.com. So you can see here there is a lot about this user which gives you an idea about who's your user, who's the person who's going to work on this document. So all these personas, so you can have multiple personas like this. One could be the product manager, which is you. One could be the evangelist who is going to work on the requirement. One could be the end user. So who is your end user? What is that they're going to do? So all that you can draft, articulate it in a single document. Okay. Now, so what are all the job functions of her Ann Jackson? So at the core of visualizing and analyzing the data in SAC is through knowledge of its integrated analytics feature. So basically SAP Analytics Cloud has this BI feature, which is what she's supposed to use as a core capability, what she possess. Then using integrated analytics in SAP Analytics Cloud BI feature, she need to demonstrate how to leverage each of those features and produce deeper and more insightful visualization. Her main job is to collect the requirement and prepare SRS documents also, as she is also working as a product manager. Plan for the data sample collection or different data sources. So you remember the BI steps, access data was very important step. So she has to also collaborate within the company to collect data samples from different places, delve into statistics found in the dataset summary from the foundation of data analysis. So she need to delve into statistics. So she need to first go and understand the data set, what she derived from the different sources. And then she need to create references, bands, box plots, and confidence interval when you use them. Then finally, in advanced analytics, which includes trend line, forecasting, clustering, unearth the unseen relationships, and predict the future events on the data. So she need to use SAP Analytics Cloud to produce the predictive output also on the top of data. Her deep experience and knowledge with organization and departments helps us to build dashboard for departments for the broad level. So idea is the person who is going to do this activity should have very good idea about data, very good idea about the requirement gathering should be done centrally, and it should be articulated well. And then finally, the person who is doing this activity should be able to utilize the BI feature of SAC to present for the final dashboard, and then ultimately the collaboration. So let's come down. Let's talk about business story, how she starts her journey and what is that she's supposed to now do. What is our business, actual business requirement after understanding user persona. So Anne meets Steve, which is a global operations manager for the mobility solution company. Recently, the Steve, he asked CIO of the company for analytics dashboard for overall company sales data so that Steve can perform future expansion plan as well as manage his global teams across. So Steve come to CIO and he asked CIO, can you give me an ability to build a dashboard on my sales data? Now CIO is actually really looking for somebody who can do this job done, and also CIO have recently contacted SAP to buy SAP Analytics Cloud solution. Now with the intention, company brought an and SAP Analytics Cloud into the workflow to gain much cleaner perspective of the entire operations of sales data. Steve will provide data set. So who will provide you data? Who will provide data to Anne? Steve will provide. He's the operations manager for sales operations manager, which is for the entire global company, and including sales and products sold, types of products, units sold, and also the customer meetings held in each country and region by his sales team to Miss Anne. So Steve is gonna do all this. Um, Data preparation and going to provide the data in form of flat files or Excel sheet to N. Okay, and you see a sample of data. So what you see in the data set, you see an order ID. Yeah, you see a dimension, date dimension, what date the sale was made, which is the customer you made the sale, what type of customer it was, wholesale, retail, yeah, one time, what was the country the sale was made, what was the customer status? Is it a prospect customer for us? Is it associated with us since long time? Is it a prior customer or is it a new customer? Which product was sold? What is the type of the product category? How many customer meetings were held before selling this product to the customer? The bikes basically. And what are all the number of units which we sold to the customer? And what was the order value which we have got from that customer, and what was the cost associated to fulfill that order? So you can clearly see profit will be the order value minus cost will be the profit. So this is your cost to manufacture that item and ship it. And this is the order value you sold it. So of course, this minus this becomes your profit. So all this, what you have it over here. Are you guys clear with the data set? Please answer. Are you clear with the data set? I already have this data set here for all of you. You don't have to rush anywhere else to get SAC end-to-end understand with my course. Everything I'll give it to you. Every single thing you guys need is there with me. I will give it to you in this course. You don't have to go anywhere guys. Okay. So you see this data set. How many records I have? Let me just check. 2514 records we have. This is your data set. It's already there in the study material. You guys will be able to download it for you. And you see here we have country, we have latitude, longitude of a country. You see, very important data it is. Then we have customer status, we have product which was sold, product type, number of customer meeting, units, and order value. So all this data we have it today with us in this data set. Yeah. So understanding data set is very important. So you see date dimension. Yeah. Can you tell me what are all the other dimensions you see? Give me some examples by looking at this data. Can you guys give me some example of data? The dimensions, customer segment is one dimension. Good. What else is other dimensions? Can you see? Sales agent first name is a dimension. Very good answer. What else? What else? Latitude is another dimension. Longitude is another dimension. Yes, that's a location dimension. Customer segment, very good. Product is another dimension. All these are different dimensions you have in the data. What are all the measures do you see, guys? What are all the measures do you see? Is this latitude longitude number is a measure? No. These are all the three measures we have for now. Okay. Okay. So currently they did not give me the cost sheet because it's a sensitive data. They did not give. They gave me order value. They gave me units and number of customer meeting. Okay. This is the data we have. That's enough for us. So let's move on. Now you understood data. So let's see what else. So come down. This is what they want. Awesome. Look at that, man. This is how you can draw a mock-up on the paper. Look at this mock-up. Every single thing they said. So they want a company logo on the top right corner. They want total order values. Till today, what is the total order sold? Total order value. Till today. How many units were sold till today? How many number of orders we have got till today? How many units sold only in APJ? Do you see guys? Only in APJ. You see hierarchy? will help you. Okay, discounted amount, how much discount you give, how many customer meetings you held till today. Then you see here date filter with which you can filter. You see hierarchy, all 2019, quarter one, quarter two. So you see this is a filter. You see measures, number of meeting, order value, units sold. You see dimensions, customer, product, product type. And then you see a discount percentage here where you can enter a discount. Who's supposed to make this layout? Product manager supposed to make. You can also make. This requirement document which I'm showing you here is a joint venture of product manager, product team. So you can also do this. Okay. And then you see here, they are showing a bar chart with order value versus discount. But guys, you see discount. Did we had any discount field here? Did we had any discount field? किधर से आ रहा है? Where it is coming from? I'm gonna show you. I'm going to show you. It's a calculated measure. We can do calculation of measure at runtime in SAP Analytics Cloud. We're going to learn all that. So I've designed this in a way that you will cover all the use cases of SAC. Then they want a geo map with the data points of each country and state where the sales was made. What is the total order value and what is the customer meetings held in each country on a map. Then you want a table of sales data with order value and customer meetings. And there is something like an R visualization. What is R visualization? I'm going to come to that also. So you have different filters, different charts, maps, tables, all the variety of controls, data points on the top, logo of the company. This is the dashboard we want to see. This is the story we want to see. Anyone, what are all the two components of a BI in SAP Analytics Cloud? Certification question. What are all the two components of a BI component of SAP Analytics Cloud? What are the two major components of BI? Model and story. Model and story. Answer is model and story. These are all the two components of BI which are mandatory. Whether you do predict or not, that's a separate story. But these two are the major building blocks of BI. Certification question. Major building blocks of SAP Analytics Cloud BI feature. Answer is model and story. Clear everyone? These are mandatory. Okay, these are mandatory. Let's move on. So that's our UI mockup, and then you see I have also noted down detailed requirement. On the top side, we need these data points. In the display bar chart, we need these many things. Yeah, and then you have geo maps. We need these many things. So I will go through these all of these one by one, step by step, and you see final outcome should look something of this sort. This is how you saw your mockup is transformed into an analytic cloud dashboard. Everyone, are you clear? Is requirement clear? Forget about how to build it. We will see now. Is requirement clear to everyone? Requirement clear? Step 1 clear requirement. You have access to data. Can I consider this step also okay? You have got your data. You've got your requirement. Both you are clear. Let's start with model preparation. So in SAP Analytics Cloud, we have different types of models. Okay. In SAP Analytics Cloud, we have different types of models. Now, first of all, what is a model definition? In interview, somebody asks you what is model. Model is the foundation which is built using data or connection in SAP Analytics Cloud for building stories. Everyone, are you clear? What is model? It's a foundation which is built using data. So where all your data will be kept? It will be kept in the inside the model. Okay, it will be kept inside the model. Why we use model? for data wrangling, data cleansing, blending, hierarchy, adding new dimensions and measures, aggregations and exception aggregations. All this is done in the model. Interview question types of model in SAC. What are all the types of models in SAP Analytics Cloud? There are broadly three categories. One is embedded versus public. Second is called analytic versus planning. Third is acquired versus live. Very important interview question and very important topic to begin with. Guys, I need to give you some theory so you can clear interviews, you can clear certification, because in interview and certification nobody will give you system to do things. These are broad, more important things which you need to understand first before you get into it. You need to understand the rule of the game before you start driving the car, correct? These are all the rules you need to follow when you before you start the system. You need to follow these rules. I promised you at the beginning of the course that I will cover all basics for you. You come from any background, doesn't matter for me. I will cover all basics for you. This course has zero prerequisite. This was my promise to you, and I'm just fulfilling my promise. Don't be worry that I'm covering a lot of theory. This theory is important. Once you are consolidating on the theory, trust me, nobody can beat you in SAP Analytics Cloud. You will become a super expert. Let's quickly understand the difference between them. Embedded versus live, analytic versus planning, acquired versus live data connection. So what is embedded versus public? Embedded models are only used by one story. They are embedded inside the story. That's why called embedded models. They are only used by one story. The story which has embedded model, only that story can use the data of an embedded model. Public model can be used by multiple stories, which means they are reusable. Is this difference clear? Embedded versus public? Everyone? Embedded versus public difference is clear? Please answer hello. Are you there? Yeah. Second, analytic versus planning. SAP Analytics Cloud offers two types of broad feature, BI feature and planning feature. So most of your models are analytics model, which you use in BI. So analytical model are used in BI stories, and planning models are used in planning scenarios, especially FI related activities, which we're going to learn in this course later point of time. Most of the models in SAP Analytics Cloud, most of the models are analytic models. They will have account dimension, okay, which is important and mandatory, okay, which is important and mandatory. This is account dimension analytic model. But when it comes to planning model, there are some more important things. I told you those many things little before. What is mandatory? A planning model has following mandatory things, which is nothing but you need mandatory and account dimension, you need a category, which is version, which is also mandatory, and also time dimension is mandatory. These three are mandatory dimensions to create a planning model. These are mandatory dimensions to create a planning model. Only for analytical model account dimension is mandatory, but for planning model all of these are mandatory. We also have something called organization dimension, which is optional, but this is also only used in planning scenarios. Okay, we're going to learn more detail later on when we reach to planning chapter. Okay, now coming next, acquired versus live. Acquired means all data is stored inside SAP Analytics Cloud, which means all the data which you have, you want, is stored in SAP Analytics Cloud. Yes, all the data, be it billions of records, it is fetched and stored within SAP Analytics Cloud. Data is stored within an SAP Analytics Cloud. Acquired data models. Second one is called live data models. Live data models where the data is fetched at runtime. Model is just a structure. Your model is just a structure. Okay. Your model is just a structure. Your model is just a structure. It doesn't contain any data. In this, data never moves out of customer system. Okay, so live data, we have different types of live data connections like ACC, S4 HANA, SAP BW, SAP BPC, SAP HANA, HANA live data connection, HANA in cloud platform. Then you can take data from Dow Jones, you can take from Google Drive. You have different data sources for creating live data connection. Okay, now, there are some connectors and there are some prerequisites sometimes which are required to create a live data connection. For example, you need to have on-premise enablement which is done using SAP Cloud Connector. You also need SAP Cloud Analytics Cloud Agent. So some of these extra stuff which is required to use a live data connection for us. Okay, we would need that, guys. Some of these things we would need. So please understand, we will cover live data connection at the end of this course. Our major focus is to understand functionality of SAC in the first phase, in the first 2-3 phases. Once you understand, the same thing you can do in live data connection also. But since all these systems are impossible for me to arrange for you, and the cost also will go so high, majority of the stories and things we will be building on our acquired data connections using Excel sample data, and then later on same stories can be used with live data connection with one click change. Okay, let's move on now. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create an embedded analytical acquired data model, which means embedded means the model will remain only for one story. Analytics means I'm going to do a BI. Acquired means the data will be stored in SAP Analytics Cloud. Are you guys clear? Are you guys clear what type of model I'm going to create? Okay, because we are using Excel sheet, I will create embedded analytics and acquired data model, because all the data will be stored in SAP Analytics Cloud. All the analytics will be created on analytics data model for BI feature. Right now we are not seeing planning, and then all the data will be used only in that one single story, so it's embedded one. Then next class I will show you public data model, and then further on we will learn how to use planning and live data connections. Now, one quick question, nobody will ask you, but just an additional info. Do you know what is the size limit of data? How much data you can upload in SAP Analytics Cloud in trial? Anyone? Size limit is 200 MB. No. Per tenant, this is the size they allow. If you exceed this limit, you have to delete some of the, this is trial limit. Guys, this is trial account limit. So, which is sufficient? for our use cases. Yes, it is sufficient. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. It is sufficient for our use cases. It's sufficient, not a problem. Okay. So let's move on now. We're going to create a model. So we're going to create a dashboard like this. So I'm going to switch over to the system for the first time. This is your system. On the home page, this is called home page. You see some analytics here, some data point and some chart. That's fine. This is your home page. You can ask a question. Then important is this button, main menu. If you go inside, you have different options to choose from. We're going to explore all of them over a period of time. But look at the create option. You can create a story, analytic application, external content. You can create a model, data set. You can create allocation value driver detection for planning purpose. You can create dimensions, currency conversion rates you can maintain. You can maintain point of interest for charts and locations. You can do predictive scenarios. Anything which you ever create and store in SAP Analytics Cloud, you can always go and search that in the browse option. So if I go to browse and files, you can always search here. So you see, I'm creating one full-fledged scenario for all of you, a full Anubhav training story for all of you, a real-time scenario where I get data from different data source like Concur, Ariba, Fieldglass, Success Factors, SAP S4 HANA. So this is a scenario I'm building for all of you. So once you gain some maturity, I'm going to show you the building this scenario, end-to-end scenario I'm creating for all of you in the training, a real-time scenario. You see, here some data is coming from Success Factor, some coming from Ariba, this data is coming from Concur, this data is coming from S4 HANA. So I'm building this scenario for all of you to showcase. Would you like to learn this? How to build, how do I build this? Do you guys want to learn how do I build this? And bring data from different sources, yeah? You need to first build the basic maturity. So just wanted to show you the big picture where we are heading towards. This is what you all will be able to build it. Okay. Then on top of this, you will be able to build the digital boardroom. So all of this, you see, this is all HR perspective data. All the HR data is I'm building. So this is all I'm preparing. I'm working so hard, guys, to give you the best out of this training, which nowhere else you get it. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to homepage. Now we're going to start with our first story. Remember, two important components. One is model, one is story. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, drag this sales data on the browser, and you see drop here, prepare data set. I just drop it here. All this data is going to get uploaded in SAP Analytics Cloud. So you see, it's uploading it here. So just hold on until the data uploads. So what is it doing? It's acquiring data. So which data model it will create? Anyone? Acquired data model, because all the data is stored in SAP Analytics Cloud. That's why acquired data model. Awesome. So now you see 2513 rows, 15 columns were imported. Sample size is 2000. Suppose you had 20,000 rows. If system starts showing you all 20,000 rows, it is becoming a havoc. System performance will go down. So what system does, it only show you here 2000 rows, but any operation and transformation when you apply, that will be applied on full data set. Full data set means all 2513 rows it will apply. Got it? So now what are all the transformations we can start here with SSC? So you can join two data. So I can concatenate data. Watch out. I'll use these two columns, and you see these options to choose from. I can duplicate, I can come here, and I can do concatenate. So I can see concatenate. So I've concatenated data with first name and last name. I have got my sales agent data concatenated. See, what is this process called, guys? Data wrangling. You are playing with the data. Guys, are you clear what is data wrangling now in practical use case? Anything you play with the data in the data which is acquired, it's called data wrangling. So basically you're wrangling the data, you're cleansing the data wherever you want. So what you suppose I've done something wrong, I can also roll back this change. So you see this transformation log, you can just click on delete, So it will roll back your last change. So I have combined two columns together to one. You see, I deleted and that column is gone. I can again click both sales agent, first name, last name, go back to transformation option. You can split, you can concatenate. Yeah, so I'll concatenate and you see I got a new column called sales agent. Everyone clear? The first step of data wrangling. What type of model is this? What do you think? Acquired data model it is. Okay, so now I can come back, I can double click on column name, I can change the name. Guys, we're going to go little fast now because otherwise I'll not be able to complete things. So theory I've already covered, so we have to go little fast. Please try, follow the video of this class and then please try yourself once. Okay guys, please allow me, I need to go little fast here. If you are stuck somewhere, you're not able to do it will be difficult to repeat everything, then we'll not be able to learn all the topics. Okay, we have very limited time, so we need to go little fast. Anything you want me to repeat, I will do it at the end, maybe explanation, and also you can watch the video later on. Okay, so let's give some name. I'm gonna give sales agent. Okay, I'm gonna give name as sales agent. Enter. So that's my new column. So now I don't need these two data, I can delete that. I can select, I can go here and I can say delete column because I already got sales agent data over here. This is called data wrangling. Now certain places, if you have blank data, okay, you can also check the quality of the data here. So the moment you select a column, it will show you the data distribution. So for example, I select country, you can go here. Right now you don't see because the model is not created, it's just a data set. It is just a data set. Now we're going to create a model also in a minute, but before that, let me also geo enrich data and show you transformation options. So you see, you can concatenate, you can split data, you can extract data. Suppose there is a text written. So this is my text. So I went to country India, I want to extract my country value. So I can use this extract option with a rule. I can say extract data between single quote, and what it produces, it just produces India. Clear? So this is called extract. Replace, I can replace data with another data, I can change data, I can filter data. So all these are transformation options. This is a certification question. What are all the transformation options available when you work with the data set? Concatenate, split, extract, replace, change and filter. Okay, these are all the transformation options which are available. Now let's select latitude and longitude and we're gonna geo enrich our data. I'm gonna select these two and we click on this button and I say geo enrich with coordinates. So guys, you cannot identify a location just by latitude or just by longitude, you need a combination. So I'm gonna choose coordinates and I'm gonna give here, you see already it's selected latitude and longitude, and I'm gonna say please create a new dimension. So system is going to combine my latitude, longitude, and going to create a new location column. You see, just next to that, a new location column. So this entire operation is applied on all 2500 records, which are there in my system. So now you can see I've got my new column called location column. You can go to details by clicking on details here, and you see this is the location column. You see this icon indicates is a geo enriched data. This is a location data. Now description of this location, I'll say description will be represented by country. So this location is representing this latitude longitude is the country location. So now that is about my data for country. You can also select my country and you can actually just come here and see the data distribution here. So you see there are 54 records which are containing US, 38 record China, 33 UK, 25 South Korea, 23 Denmark. This is my data distribution. So you can always see data distribution and there is no blank here, which is a good news. Now suppose if there would have been a blank, let me blank a record. Uzbekistan I'll delete. So I just go and change this data. So replace value with blank value, enter. And you see in my entire data set, wherever there is Uzbekistan, it will turn blank. Yeah, it turned blank. Now, if you come back and look at your data pattern, you will see that there are blank values. How many blank values are there? 18 other values. So there are 18 blank values are there in the system. See? Yeah. So you can always check data distribution in a column over here inside the details section. So I go back to transformation log and I'll say, please roll back my last change of Uzbekistan, and it's going to do that. So you are doing data wrangling, you are doing data transformation, all of this geo enrichment, this entire process you are doing on your data set. And you see your transformation log. You can also hide it. You can go to details. Clear? I want to see what is my product distribution. Select the product. You see 276 records are of this type product. You can also come here and click, it will highlight all the records which has this particular bike. And then of course you can again apply transformation. You can replace values. Yeah, lot of things you can do actually there. Okay, I don't want to replace the values. Yeah, so this is how you can work with your data set. Everyone clear? How do we upload data, acquire the data in SAP Analytics Cloud? So if I select product, just let me check distribution. So I see all my distribution of data. Yeah. Now, once you're happy with whatever you did, and you see here, system automatically marking what is measure and what is dimension. Look at, select this column, go to details, and you see, what do you think system marked it as? Do you see this scale? Do you see this scale? Yeah, it's marked as measure. What do you think? Can you also see symbol 222222? The symbol indicates these are measures. What do you see? AA alphabets. They are marked as a alphabets marked as a dimension. Are you understanding, guys? System automatically marking your data as dimension and measures. Just in case you wanted to change, you can also change. Suppose I realize that this is not a dimension. I can always come here and change this to a measure. Okay, but right now you can see data type is string, so it has marked it as a dimension, but you can always come and change it as a number. You can force it. Okay, now similarly, let me show you the date dimension is also marked. You see this calendar icon. System already marked this date as a date dimension. See, data type is date, dimension type is a date. Okay, see order ID. System marked order ID as a integer, as a measure. No, it has not marked as a measure. It has marked it as a dimension only. This flower icon is a dimension. You see dimension properties. So system understood order ID also carefully. Automatically SAP Analytics Cloud understand your data. But just in case it does not, you can go and manually change a data type. Now another interesting thing wanted to show you, the another category of data which I showed you, nominal, continuous. Can you see? Statistical type is continuous. Are you understanding? Hello? Are you clear what I taught you in the theory now? A measure is a continuous data. Clear everyone? It's a continuous data. So now you can validate full data set. So I can just uncheck. This is a certification question in SAP Analytics Cloud. How do you ensure the data consistency? Validate full data set option. Click on this. You see your data set has no issue. Guys, please understand one funda fox, the prerequisite to do BI. What is funda fox? Funda fox is nothing but a word which I invented myself in the college days. Something very important about a topic is called funda fox. If there is an examination, you can't read the entire book. There is an interview, you can't read entire book. You can just read funda fox and you can clear the certification and interview. Okay, first certification question or interview question, Important to note this point, the prerequisite to make sure that you get design a good dashboard to take right decision is that your data must be proper. In case there are data anomalies, example blank data is there, you have some erroneous data, you can use data wrangling to correct. To see, to build a proper dashboard, data is the raw material. Guys, if your steel has a flaw, do you think your car will be built properly? If the steel has a flaw, the steel which you used has a flaw, do you think the car can be made properly? Of course not. So your data is actually the crux of your stories. If your data is not proper, you will not be able to work with the stories properly. You will see some or the other issue will come. What are all it includes? Includes transformation, wrangling, blending. Blending I didn't show yet. Then it includes geo enrichment. We did transformation. We did transformation includes splitting the data, joining the data, replacing the blank value with some other value, categorizing it as a measure or as an attribute correctly, as a dimension correctly. All that is data wrangling and modeling process. Now we are ready. Our data set is ready. We're going to create a model. So this is already a model actually. It's an embedded model. You can straight ahead switch to this next option called data exploration. You can now explore the data over here, which is also known as data discovery. And now over here, you see, I get all my measures. So you see system automatically detected my measures. So I want to see what is total order value. Click on that. And wow, you see, system does an aggregation of total order value, gets you a numeric point. Okay, I'm going to straight ahead and say copy this to a new canvas page or a responsive page. So SAP Analytics Cloud, when you create stories, there are three types of pages you can create. In SAP Analytics Cloud, when we create story certification question, again, we have three types of pages which you can create. Certification question, guys, guaranteed certification question. First is called canvas page, responsive page, and third is called grid. Canvas page is used for desktop based stories. Responsive page is used to create a story which works on all devices including mobile. Okay, it's mobile supporting. Grid is only again desktop but looks like a table. So that is your data types, three types of stories. Clear everyone? Let's go back. I'm going to create a responsive page. So I'm going to say copy to a new responsive page. Click on that. You see visualization successfully copied. Awesome. See here guys, I've got a responsive page with the left side and right side. These are called panels. So guys, what is the relationship between story, panel and page? Let's quickly discuss that also. So we have a story. A story can have multiple pages of different kinds, canvas, grid and responsive. One page can have multiple panels. Responsive page can have multiple panels, I would say. Each panel, each panel will have widgets. Each panel will have multiple widgets. Will you remember this? Promise me before next class, will you remember this? Promise me in the chat window, will you remember this before the next class? Okay, clear everyone? Okay, now next thing, there's a question here, how do we remove duplicates of data? So guys, I'll tell you one guideline, is SAP's guideline. SAP guideline says about the data set, ideally all data set corrections must be done in source data. SAC should be used for minor available wrangling and transformation options. Means you saw there are only limited options here to do data wrangling. When you go to data set, you can go to data here. You can again go to data set here. Here is your data set. So you have very limited options here. You don't have so many abundance of options. Okay. Don't have everything here. So SAP recommends that if there is any duplicate data record or stuff like that, you should do that in the source. What is source? Excel. In this case, our source is Excel. Tomorrow, our source can be S4HANA. So that duplicacy and stuff like that, you should make sure that it's taken care by the source. Your raw material should come proper. SAP Analytics Cloud, it is currently, as you see, offering very limited transformation and capabilities. Yeah, transformation and wrangling capabilities, only limited ones. So you need to make sure that your data at least in a usable state so that I can do little transformation and make it work here. This should not be used as a heavy transformation like removing duplicates and stuff like that. Of course, there's a lot you can do when we go and explore more. You will understand we can add formulas, calculated columns and stuff like that. But right now, please understand SAP recommends that the data correction should be done in the source data set. The same applies to those who worked on SAP BobJ. The same rule is coming from there also. Okay. So all Excel sources are embedded data models? No, Ashok, not at all. We can create public data model, which is what I'm going to do in the next class also. Okay. So let's first understand a basic dashboard, and then tomorrow's class we will build the full-fledged one. So now I come back. So now Excel is actually is anyway loaded there. So we've got our first story, and in our first story, first page, we got this number. Yeah. So you see order value, total order value I've got. Okay. I can now I wanted to drop it on the top. So I don't have any panel on the top. I can go back, can create a new panel. I can say add a lane above. So you see I've added a lane above, and I'm going to drag, capture this. You can easily drag and drop this order value on the top. I want to delete the lane title, remove, and I've got my order value. Nice. Now, similar to this, so what I did is I added it from here, this option called exploration mode. From here I've added. I can also add my unit sold. You see I've got my unit sold. I can again copy, and I can say copy to my page one. It got copied, and you see I've also got my unit sold over here. Yeah. Now same thing. What about if I don't want to do it with data exploration? Yeah. I want to do it in a different way. How do I do that? Okay. We'll see. So you can come here. You can see this button called chart. Let's add a chart. It added a chart. And now here you see there are different, this is our sales data set, the different types of charts. We can choose a chart type called numeric point. And of course, now I choose my measure. You all know what is measure, what is dimension now. I don't have to tell you again. So I click on my measures, and it shows all my three measures. And I say number of customer meeting. So I've got my number of customer meeting over here. I can just down it over here. Everyone, are you clear? How do we create our first acquired acquired analytical embedded data model, and how to create your first story with just few simple bullets. Okay, I'm going to rename this page to, let's say, overview. Save it. I'm done. I can save my story. Save. And I need to now save my story in a folder. I can create a folder. Let's say SAC batch 1. Click on OK. And I can go to batch 1. And I can save my story. I can name this story Ann Jackson. And I'll say sales dashboard basic Ann Jackson. Created by Ann Jackson as per spec. Click on OK. This story is going to get saved in the system. You see story is saved. And it is built on an acquired analytical embedded data model. The data which I have here cannot be used in another story. That's why it's an embedded data model. Now you see there are humongous number of options. We're going to explore all of them in coming class. Tomorrow's class is no theory, all practical, all hands-on. So be ready with all the theory which I taught you. I'm not going to repeat the theory tomorrow's class. Please read through the PPT. It's going to be available right after the class. Video will come after 3 hours. Please read through this PPT. Next class, I'm going to straight away go to the requirement document. I'm going to build this entire dashboard in the next class. And then guys, it's good to learn with the trainer, but it's also important to consolidate the knowledge with the hands on ourselves. So I'm giving an exercise also here in this document. You guys will be able to build it yourself by doing a hands out. I'm also going to give you complete hands out material as part of this training, so you will be able to complete all the exercises. Plus I will also show you solution of this exercise in a fast track round. Fast track round means I'm not going to explain too much like I'm doing right now. I'm going to go faster and quickly drag drop things and add those measures, dimensions, stuff like that to create this exercise solution at front of you. So tomorrow's class, we're going to build this entire dashboard, what you see on the screen. This entire thing, I'm going to build it at front of you. And then we'll also look at how to create a public model and do the same stuff with that. Thank you so much for watching this session today. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Our theories, most of the theories complete to get started with SSE. Please read through this theory because this will help you to clear certification without any dumps. Any questions before we close today's class? So right now it's not a model which is an this doesn't show any account dimension to you because right now it's not a public model. When I create a public model, that time I'll show you how account dimension look like. So here there is no separate account dimension category at the moment right now. Okay, but when I create a public model, there I'll show you how to create an account dimension. Where will it be visible? How will it look like? Okay, but please read through this theory. This theory is very important. All our material is available on the Google Drive folder, which is shared with all of you already. Please go back and it's ready. You can download. At least try to achieve this much. Get started, register your trial today, get started and at least achieve this much what I showed you today. In next class, we're going to build the full-fledged dashboard as explained in the SRS document. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. Please email me if you don't get the material details. Please email me. I will make sure that you get it today. Thank you so much.
Hi Anubhav.
Yes,
Hi
please.
Anubhav. One quick question.
Yes, Abhishek.
Yeah, how to get access to this trial account? You have explained that earlier, or
Yes,
means like
it's there in the last class. You were there in the last class?
yes, I'm there.
I have explained it.
Okay,
Anyway, let me show you again. So you go to sapanalytics.cloud. This is the website. Okay. You can register for free 90-day trial. SAP is giving 90-day free trial with even planning capability. Start your 90-day trial. Just click on that. Enter your business email ID. You can't enter Gmail and select both. Accept and say get free trial. You will receive an email from SAP and then you confirm your email ID on your mail account, and that's all. You can get access to this free trial.
Okay, okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you. It's free, 90-day free. Initially, you will see here trial ending in 30 days. Don't worry. After 10 days, it will automatically give you a pop-up for extending it for 60 more days. So don't panic. You will initially see only 30 days here.
So, Anubhav, we have to use our business email only into this, not
Yes,
Gmail.
sir. They don't allow Gmail and all. They only allow
Okay.
your corporate email ID. Don't worry, they will not charge you. There is no way there is any charge. So you just have to use your corporate email.
Okay, and they don't contact after the trial ends or anything, marketing
They
or
can
anything.
contact you on the email, but when you're registering now, that time you choose this option. There is an option. I am a partner and consultant. Don't select this option. They will not contact you, hopefully. At
Okay.
least I have tried more than 5 trials with different email IDs till today. Okay.
Mhm.
And nobody contacted me on the phone asking buy this, buy that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Anbo, Venu here, Anbo. So, Anbo, in the previous introduction session, you mentioned about it's offering like out of the box, it's offering 72 packages, right? So, that packages include the models that you're talking about, that models are different.
Yes, those packages also include predefined content, like some models are already built, some stories are already built, some templates are already available. So you can use them, which are industry specific. But in the trial account, you don't get those access to that free content. When you buy license, at that time, you get access to this pre-packaged content, which I mentioned in the last class.
Okay, okay.
Okay. What are all the formats does it support? Good question. It supports only XLS, XLSX, and CSV format at the moment as a flat file. No other file. That is also a certification question. Analytics Cloud supports what are all the file formats? It supports XLS, XLSX, and CSV at the moment. I have also cleared my SAP Cloud Analytics Cloud certification without any dumps with 78% marks yesterday night. And complete details are shared with you already in the last chapter. Please go through that, but please wait for some time. You want to clear certification, wait for some time. Okay, wait for some time. You will clear it easily with my course. Additionally, if you want to score even more higher, you can buy dumps also, and then you can score even more higher. We will give you direct set of questions and answers. I mean, not we, you can buy it from Raj. What is the email ID for SSC material? Please email to me anubhav.abap@gmail.com. You know my mail ID. You would have received subscription email. You can reply to that also to Meenakshi directly. Thank you so much, guys. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. Go ahead.
Yeah, Anubhav, can you go back to the dashboard?
Yes, please.
So here you have created this order value, but in your Excel sheet, I think all the values are not in the same currency format. So how is it converting? Like, is it taking any
Currently, it is
base
not.
currency or?
Currently, it is not because right now we have not considered that. Currently, we have not considered. So let's assume right now they are all US dollars. Assume. Okay. But currency conversion is also another topic which I'm going to show you. So here you see there is no currency value given right now in the data set.
Oh, okay,
So all are in US
okay,
dollar. So the when Steve has given me data, I am Ann Jackson. I told Steve to give me all data in US dollars. So Steve has given me by default everything in US dollar by converting at the source only. So the data is converted already at source. You can assume that. Later on, when we go to planning, I'm going to show you how you can do currency conversions. There is an option here where you can upload currency conversion rates. So you see this currency option. I'm going to explore and show you that how to do that.
okay, okay.
There's a lot to
Thank you.
come. This is just the beginning. Okay, guys. Thanks. Okay, I hope all your questions are hopefully answered. There's a lot more questions which may come in your mind. What is this? What is that? Don't worry. This is just our first session. There's a lot to come. This is just the beginning of story. So a lot to come. You will be mesmerized to see, and without any coding, you can build amazing dashboard. Next class, we'll see how to build this entire dashboard end to end. Thank you so much. See you. And